Hey, thanks for clicking on one of our videos. If you're a Baylor fan, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell if you want to join us for a live stream soon. This is Please Bear With Me. Enjoy.
You know, it is weird not having a spring game.
Yep.
And that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother show. I don't know that I necessarily like it. I'm not in the coaches' rooms. I understand they know a million times more than I ever will, forgotten more than I'll ever know, however you want to say it. But I do miss the pageantry and the opportunity for people to come and sit in the stands. And maybe if you can't afford to go during the year, and you can watch the game, you know, and it does blend to the excitement and hype in some of those storylines.
I want to tell you, I have a strong opinion about this spring game thing, because this is the story of the week. In my opinion, the NCAA told Syracuse and Colorado that they cannot do their exhibition game that they were planning over Twitter. You know, Fran Brown, former Baylor head assistant coach, and Deion Sanders tweeting back and forth.
By the way, Fran Brown is no dummy. Like,
no,
any chance you can go to Colorado and get some of that shine.
He knows exactly what he was doing, and it's smart. It's good. It's good business, frankly.
I can't remember the last Syracuse football conversation I had, so good for him.
But here's the deal. The NCAA told them they can't do that. But did you see what Mike Gundy said this week?
What?
Mike Gundy in a press conference this week said, and this goes back to what we were talking about 10 minutes ago with rivalries. Mike Gundy said, here's what we do. We need to be playing Oklahoma this spring. And we can do it at their place. We can do a game at their place and a game at our place. The game at their place, they keep all the money, charge $25 a ticket. We keep all the money and put it towards NIL. Game at our place, charge $25 a ticket, keep it all for NIL. Or you do it one site, one game. It's not, and he said, not a full game, like a simulated practice like these NFL teams do, but charge at the gate and either do one game and split it for NIL, or do a home and home and do NIL. And he's like, why aren't we doing that? And I'm like, that's a great idea, actually.
So what the NCAA said is that it was a competitive advantage for recruits if Colorado and Syracuse were to do that. It was because it was so late in the season, other programs haven't had a chance to schedule their home and home or away, whatever. They haven't had a chance to schedule their inner squad or outer squad scrimmage with someone else. I can tell you right now, I played 5 sports in high school. I didn't think about football until August. We had summer conditioning. I thought about football in August, and when it was done, I went to basketball and went to all these other sports. I hated spring ball. It was monotonous. You run there's no creativity. I mean, you run after practice 4, everyone knows the calls. Everyone knows the signals, and so defense knows what you're doing. You know what the defense is doing, and it's just hidden heads. I don't think there's any value, me personally, a guy who hates spring football, in spring football. Now, I do think if you get something like this where you get a little bit more competitiveness out of it, I think it forces people to, really look at what spot and what situations you're in. I don't think stars are really ever made there unless you're really, a bad person or a bad athlete. Spring ball is just spring ball. It's just a bunch of things that coaches.
Did it make you any better? Did it make your team any better?
Zero.
Okay.
I don't think so. You don't learn offense. You're right. Yeah. It's such a.
Okay. I got. Here's the difference, though, Terrance. I want your feedback on this, because you've done it and I haven't. I think transfer portal changes that a little bit.
No, it does not.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, but call me a skeptic. Like I think the fact that Prentice and all these guys are getting on the field with Aranda and that coaching staff, I think there's value to that. Maybe even if it's just for a couple practices, not the full spring. Maybe I'll listen to you. But the other question I have, here's a question, and you might tell me I'm just wrong. Did it not benefit RG3 to show up on campus in January and go through that spring and that whole summer with the team, where he could, by game 2 of his freshman season, be the starter and have the full team behind him, as opposed to a freshman that comes in August and his snaps would have been a month on campus? Did that not make a difference?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay,
Robert, that's my opinion. And so Robert Griffin is an elite athlete. I don't care what time of the year he gets on campus. He should be starting week 2 because of his playmaking ability. And Baylor wasn't good. Now, if you had a good team that was going to be like Alex Smith with the Kansas City Chiefs that year before they let Patrick Mahomes take it over, hey, that's fine. Like, hey, let's sit back and you watch and learn the game. But we didn't have an Alex Smith on the team. We didn't have a good team. So, like, why wouldn't you're wasting his time?
Like my comp this season would be like, I love that Taz Williams is in practice now, and his first practice in a Baylor uniform is not in August. Like,
no,
is that just
a
fan thing?
No, it's a fan thing, because as an athlete, you just want to play football, and there's nothing you want to do in spring ball that makes you want to go practice. Zero.
What about the spring game? Was that like
hated it? Everyone hated it. It's the worst thing. Because it's manufactured. That's why they play music at the spring game, because nobody has emotions. I mean, it is just like, why are we doing this? I've hit LA Coffee for 15 straight days. I don't want to practice against them. Okay, yeah. Now we got to pump in all this music and get the crowd involved, and we got to do all this. No one likes spring practice. Just like now in the NFL, it's different. No one likes camp in the NFL. But it's a necessary evil. But as you see, a lot of coaches are trying to shorten camp and get an extra, a football game in there, because they don't want to. It doesn't do anything. You're just beating up someone's body. Taz Williams, if he's a great receiver, I'm gonna tell you what you do: line him up out there, and you put an inside receiver, make the inside receiver draw the safety's attention, and then you say, Taz, go run by someone. Catch this football. 15 days in the spring doesn't matter if he's going to catch that football or not. I promise you. To me, I'm not getting paid to do that or coach that. The spring football is horrible, and Deion Sanders is right. He's like, where do we go with spring football if we do not make it more exciting? He's telling you, as a player and as a coach, no one likes
and a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Well, Fran Brown is a marketing genius as well. Look at all the stuff he does for his program and his players, not only on the field, but off the field. When you got coaches telling you this out loud, they're saying the quiet part out loud. The only people that like spring football, Georgia and Alabama, because they got people walking in and walking out on campus because they can get 50 new players that are 5 stars. Sawyer Robertson is going to be a little bit more confident. But what really is going to help Sawyer Robertson is April 1st. Not April 1st, August 1st. When you're 30 days from first game, that's when you start dialing it in. What you do right now, like you're running such a watered down script. I mean, you're running the same play over and over. It doesn't help anybody. And I will argue until I'm blue in the face, which is going to be hard for my skin complexion.